Pop always wore his cap, working behind the counter of his and Ma's corner store. Always open, dawn to midnight, even Christmas Day, although he and Ma usually shut up shop early for family occasions. Ma always wore a light cotton housecoat patterned with flowers, as she milled about the row upon row of wall-to-floor shelves stacked with a huge variety of grocery and stationery goods, picking out and filling orders customers wanted, either in person or entrusted as a written note into the hands of one of their kids, designated to run the family errands. Babs, no relation but working there straight out of school and always dressed in what was deemed to be the latest fashions, beehive hair, heavy made-up Cleopatra eyes, pop pants or miniskirts, always with kinky boots, and only smiling when any guy exuding waves of testosterone walked in for cigarettes or a paper. Otherwise, she remained sullen-faced, chewing gum and blowing the occasional giant pink bubble that burst with a pop, which Pop ignored, but usually brought a flashing, irritated glare from Ma in Bab's direction. Outside, the occasional car or truck passed by, slowly trundling down the street, sidewalks busy with the locals' comings and goings to and from the tenements, heading for the bus stops, for workplaces, or school, or college, and the local hospital, but many darting into Mom and Pop's corner store to get what they needed to help them through their days or nights, while the shouts and noises of kids playing through the streets and tenements drifted into the store from other faraway corners of the neighbourhood. All sorts came and went at the corner store. There was even legend that an actual beetle had been spotted in there, buying jelly babies, which everyone knew they were mad for. He looked the part with his collar-length hair, straight-cut fringe, Cuban-heeled boots and tight black pants with a Beatle-style jacket, and Babs, all aflutter behind the counter, stuffing loose jelly babies into a white paper bag, smiling nervously, her heavily mascaraed eyelashes signalling a semaphore style, her undying love, interest and availability telegraphed to this desirable young man of the moment. And she swooned as soon as he left the store, no one really sure if she was feeling faint or had actually had an orgasm slumped over the cash register, whose bell dinged loudly, emphasizing this event in historic fashion that Babs had had her bell rung too. The corner store was a living, breathing version of the newspapers sold there daily. Pop being the sports section, exchanging opinions, facts and figures on players and teams, managers and coaches, whose prospects and form were discussed in great detail with regard to whatever sport was being played in that particular season of the year. Mom was the births, marriages and deaths section and knew all the names of everyone's kids, who was married or engaged to who, and she interacted with the local moms and dads, grandparents, aunts and uncles, brothers and sisters, exchanging news on the comings, the goings, the events and anniversaries of the day, week, month and year. Babs, seemingly, was their agony aunt and real-time gossip columnist, listening to everyone's problems with a shocked look or with raucous giggling and handing out relationship advice on love, passion, and tips on the latest fashions influencing the lives and styles of the local youth all about her own age from all around the neighbourhood. And I was the paper boy, delivering actual newspapers every morning, come hail, rain or shine, right to customers' doors throughout the whole neighbourhood, and flattening empty cardboard boxes in the back of the store, if not otherwise engaged, helping to spread the news. Over the years, gentrification blighted the neighbourhood, improving the buildings but dismantling the community we knew. The old neighbourhood displaced and replaced with a new order of more insular people whose fast-paced lives, more self-centered, more closed and more private, with the exception of their Facebook and Instagram pages, were All was laid bare if you looked carefully enough and read in between the posted lines and pictures. The bricks and mortar of Ma and Pop's store still there, but the spirit, the comforting, reassuring familiarity, the natural support system of their local community centre, gone and all but forgotten. Now converted to a coffee house post gentrification, the staff are quite friendly, but not overly so. All smiles, but really all business with high prices, while the clientele pull out their iPhones, tablets, and laptops, taking advantage of the Wi Fi. And that's the thought that struck me. The old redundant newspaper delivery kid, the comparison that the social glue Ma and Pop and Babs had been to the neighbourhood back in the day had been replaced by a new social media that really wasn't as social as the name implied. The coffee house's free Wi Fi connectivity may be a gateway to the World Wide Web, but no match for what was, and erases the spirit of the local neighbourhood, meaning that any resident new in the area might enjoy a mocha while FaceTiming with someone they know in Nairobi, but don't know their next door neighbour, and perhaps true to the spirit of modern life, don't care to either. But the vintage black and white photograph of the store from when Ma and Pop owned it, hanging on the glossy white painted brick wall between the hanging green potted plants, was a nice touch, a classy gesture, a salute to and acknowledgement of the past. And if you look at it real close, I could swear you can see there's the reflection of a young man in the store window that sure looks just like a beetle. Perhaps also reflecting the history that you never know what life has in store just around the corner.